Perfect. Let's get going. Okay. Where were we? Right, so places I want to go. Audience for the RBTs. Solomon, Dargonas, Nebris, Aquay, and Odenatus 11. Let's try to go to those. The Nebris Aquay may be maybe the first. I think all of these have been explored. Yes. Time to launch. On Frozen Prince, Tenebris Aquay is here. Okay, let's make this unsafe but possible. When the Lord Captain arrived on the bridge during the warp jump, he found the on-duty officers in a state of confusion. They claimed they had been receiving orders from the bridge for several minutes, orders authorized by the rogue trader, but the Lord Captain had been absent. Curiously, the orders had been signed by the late Theodora von Valancius. After a thorough investigation, the tech priest attributed the strange incident to the whims of the machine spirits. She should have left the hostile materium and returned to real space. Uncharted system, let's go in. Hey, Recoliger's plot. I'm curious what this is. An unidentified void ship. A ship that once traveled the galaxy is now suspended in the silent void like the gnawed carcass of a giant monster. When the rogue trader's void ship approaches, the Voxmaster reports an incoming message. A colony of the Imperium subjects have made their home in the bowels of the ship. They welcome the Lord Captain. Visit the colony. Now let's go in with our people. I sense a rat. Sense something is afoot amiss. Askew. That doesn't make sense, but okay. He sounds like Popeyes. Welcome, your Lord Inez. Please come right in. Our chief shall greet you.
Do these monkey truly spend their brief lives digging through refuse? Why do they not choose another path?
Name later on surfaces in your mind the history of family from the Chronos Expanse.
These people
confesses all they had in the family ship.
And diligent in their work.
The ship perished in the warp and the sea made a voyage. They on a line and recover from the crushing blow. Yeah, let's take some goods first.
A Xenos among humans. Inviting her to join us is like clasping a serpent to your bosom.
Yeah, well, there's nothing you can do, Adepta Sanctimonious. Just don't grind your teeth so loud. You'll wear them down to nubs.
Adepta Sanctimonious, that's a good name. Recoliger. I'm just gonna steal all your stuff. In the name of the Von Valancius line. Rita, you have a name. That means you're someone important. A tired-looking woman of indeterminate age, clad in work clothes, breaks off from her task to reach you. She freezes momentarily, clearly unsure how to address you. Then says simply, "Your Lordship, please excuse me. I don't really know your name. Welcome to our little colony. May the light of the Emperor be with you, and with us. My name is Rita Maknisova. I'm in charge here." This one is too cruel. I don't want to do that. What is this place? We call ourselves Rita's crew, and this place Rita's camp. That's it. We're recollegers. Scavengers in common terms. He does not speak the word scavengers with any kind of disdain. On the contrary, there is dignity in her voice, the kind of which The kind with which one would announce their affiliation with a respected guild or family. Can you tell me what this wreck? I can take you from this place. It's not safe here. And sooner or later, it will drift somewhere so remote that nobody will ever find you again. But this is our whole livelihood, your lordship. You take us from here, and what we're gonna do? Sit in some hole, slaving away? Here, we've got our own colony, our own operation. No, this is our path. And we won't stray from it. Take pride in your trade, I see. Sure do. It takes skill and luck, and a good head on your shoulders. We risk our lives every day crawling on top of these old buckets. If something goes wrong, we die by the score sometimes. One moment we're there, the next we're kind of like the next we're gone. Kind of like worker ants. But you know what, your lordship? Our job also has something. How should I put it? Poetic about it. Hope you don't judge me too harshly and don't take it as insolence. But some people, even big people like you, think too highly of themselves. Let's say your ship hops into the warp someday, it doesn't hop out in time. And around 1,000 years later, another guy like myself who needs to feed her 3 ankle biters somehow will be rifling through its remains, looking for anything good. That's just the nature of things. Each of us comes and goes, but the way the world works stays the same. We all have a lot in life, and mine is just as good as any other. You're abused, little monkey. Your life is shorter than a moth's, and you spend it digging around the carcass of the dead malevolent metal. You speak of eternity and the stars. I like that. It's like seeing starlight reflected in a puddle. You speak as if the world is set in stone and none of us can change anything for the better. I like this one. There are some big things. Those are some big things you're talking about. Way out of my depth. Change for the better? That'd be nice. If I was young and didn't have 3 youngsters back home, maybe I would dream about stuff like that too. But as it is, I've got no time for dreaming. I gotta work. Can you tell me anything about this wreck? Not much. We're no eggheads, you know. We're manual labor. It's an ancient thing, pretty dangerous. But we don't really know much beyond that. Before we came here, some tech priests had done their own bit of gutting. I mean, ritualing, bowing to the spirits, all that. That lot don't tend to leave a whole lot of valuables behind. True, but it's way too scary to go in before them. And hey, we dragged a dozen of their broken servitors out of the mines after. The carcasses are awful, but you can pluck out a decent number of parts out of a servitor and sell them. You got your own ship? Oh, not even close. A luxury like that? Oh, you could count the recollegers who got their own ship on one hand. An old worker's hand that got sucked into a machinery 3 times and slashed by plasma cutter twice. We fly with whoever, mostly just taking our chances. Sometimes we hitch a ride on the promise that we'll pay with what we find later. Other times we find some other means. Risky business, obviously. 5 or so years back, a crew got dropped off at an abandoned station, but something wasn't right with the life support systems. The ship came back to pick them up 2 years later and found nothing but bodies. And about 15 years ago, back before I had my first little one, a ship took 3 crews to locations and ran into pirates on the way back. The ships go out on expeditions for years at a time, so it was ages before anyone realized they were missing, and it was even longer before they remembered the scavengers. Plus, it took some time to find a ship that could check on them and pick them up. Long story short, all 3 crews had bought it. Yep. Hey, that's kind of depressing. What do you do here? Right now, we're guarding this whole heap of junk. Slowly but surely, that's the recolleger's life for you. They drop us off at the decrepit station or an ancient battlefield, and we just sit here for years on end. We look for working tech, or valuable materials, or whatever else might be useful. If we find anything, we sell it to passing ships. Not the easiest job out there. These wrecks are chock full of all kinds of dangers. But, and I swear to my plasma torch, it's an exciting one for sure. This little bird's got all kinds of bells and whistles. Most of the tech is dead, but we do find working pieces now and again. We spent 2 whole months clearing out this shaft we found. Finished just 3 days ago actually, and we found this thing, a little bit weird looking but still functional. Greatest expression frightens a little. Perhaps your lordship would like to buy this component from us. I'll bet that big ship you've got could get plenty of use out of it. Sure, I'll buy the component. Ooh, Magnus class rechargeable battery. That's fuel cargo. Haha. Well, listen, this is something. The Emperor himself must have smiled upon us. But makes a triumphant gesture. I mean, thank you, Your Lordship. They'll be pleased with the results. Now, Your Lordship, it's kind of embarrassing to offer you this, but over in that corner there, we keep things we don't rightly understand or can't really use. You could send some of your people to check it out if you like. Clearly, you know more about this stuff than us. You might find something useful. I see. Your Lordship, Rita falters and as if flustered by her own nerve. Please don't take it as insolence, but it's not like I have much choice. It's not often that we get well-stocked ships around here, and we could certainly use more provisions and some warm clothes. If it's something you will be willing to provide, we will gladly barter for it with whatever we can dig up inside this here ship. It's just a respectable offer of fair trade.
Onward to victory.
A container.
Always striving for greatness.
Villager. I'm trying to find what else here might have collectibles. Pile of rubbish. Let's go pile of rubbish.
I have learned much in my exile.
How does it say you can obtain the codes? Okay, so we can now access the code here. Okay, we can find the keys. Connect to the cogitator.
A trivial task.
Here to be an operative. Let's go collect these items. Connect to the cogitator.
Oh, too hard for a simple monkey.
Come on, connect to the cogitator.
You have merely delayed your inevitable death in the claws of the war, Venayadira. You could have asked for deliverance, but you did not. Why? Because I'm not a brainwashed death cultist. Because I want to live. Because there are people counting on me. I owe it to them to stick around.
Need key.
Marching ahead.
Is there anyone else we can talk to? Oh well, doesn't seem like there is. Oh well, let's leave. Return to Void Ship. And we'll continue on our journey. Let's go to the worlds. Reminds me I still need to get the extractors. Yeah, I need to get extracted. But I haven't bought any. Let's do this. The bizarre structure observed from Ur appears to be a ruined estate of a wealthy noble. Further searching reveals the remains of an envirodome, a landing pad, the main manor, and servants' quarters. It is impossible to determine what exactly happened here. The search team had found something truly disturbing in the main hall, an opulently clothed skeleton sitting at the dinner table. The table is set with gold plates covered in old blood and piles of bones. The bones on the plates are clearly human. No other remains have been found in the estate. Let the holy fire. Let's search for anything valuable. The scout team returns with some expensive weapons taken from the skeleton. After finishing the report, they hurry away whispering prayers. This is this assault last gun. 10, 15, 10% versus fire. It's not really that good. Assault last gun. See how he stands in the hands of other people. Actually, this one would be better. Yeah, it might be good for him. No, the armor penetration on the other one is better. Yeah, she doesn't use guns. You can use them. You have the hunting, nothing. I'm gonna send this to cargo. Savannah World, this one, Shattered World. Do the world first and then the unidentified void ship. Scan it up. Okay, more stuff. So, void ship management, colony management, cargo management, Corpus Valancius journal. Let's look at colony. Where are we on the projects? Okay, unidentified void ship. A Vox notification from the Augur crew drowns out the usual noise on the bridge. An Imperial vessel, the Dark Piercer, and its escort ships are headed your way. Your archives make no mention of either ship or its owner. As you consider your course of action, the ship's captain contacts you first, introducing himself as the Pilgrim. The captain greets the rogue trader courteously and offers to purchase any information you might have on crystal phlogiston deposits. I want to ask why he needs phlogiston. The captain's coarse laughter echoes forth from the Vox. Phlogiston is a part and parcel of many different aspects of life in the Imperium. How exactly his customers are going to use is none of his concern. All the Pilgrim promises that phlogiston will be used for the good of humanity. They immediately remarks that someone without a name is not to be trusted. Deals with such people do not tend to end well. If she were you, she would first find out the secrets and then scrupulously remove him from the equation. Pascal becomes visibly animated at the mention of phlogiston. Though indifferent to the prospect of a deal with a shadowy individual, the Magus nonetheless recommends you find out more about phlogiston deposits. Your own protector will benefit from the knowledge. Sister Argenta sincerely believes the words of the Pilgrim. A cow or golden aquila are now prerequisite for the servant. The captain. Okay. Let's go with commerce. Yes, the captain of Dark Piercer is in the best spirits. In gratitude for your invaluable help, he sends you a small box containing ancient maps and documents. They appear to speak of a certain imperial world lost many centuries ago. Then, in somewhat conspiratorial tone, the Pilgrim relates a story about a standoff between two Xenos fleets, which he was told by an acquaintance. The person in question, sadly enough, died at the hands of the Inquisition before they were able to pass on the coordinates for the crash site of one of the Xenos ships. However, the Pilgrim knows for a fact that the vessel met its demise on an ocean world. Bid farewell to the Pilgrim and travel onward. That's fine. Let's take a look at our room. Treasure in the ocean. Here we go. Let's go back to the bridge, because I want to talk to my high factotum to get some trades going. High factotum. What's enough for crew members? Okay, so Drusians. Reputation. I don't care about the Drusians. Exploratory. On. Mobile Extractium. This is what I want. Can really raise my thing with them. But I want to raise another one. The Esbalica. Is there anything here I can use beyond that bit? There's not much available. Sorry, reputation. I mean, I could. This could get me really up. Right? So the other one I do is contract. Now there's Xenotech 4. 10-use piece weapons. Okay. Gonna have to wait on the Extractium until I can get more profitability. Board chip management. Ooh, I have a 2 engine, 11 speed, long stronger than braking. Current class 1 drive, left plus 2 engine, yeah. Add to cargo. Did you use backup battery? So this is the Mars one. Mars. Ryza. And this is Stygian. Fires 2 shots. The Mars one, this is the Ryza, which is 3. Let's replace. So we have 4 and 3. And we can send these to cargo and cargo. Thermite plating. Last steel plating from harm, negative 4 points of damage on each side. Thermite plating protects from harm, negative 5 damage on each side, reducing damage by internal fires. We're gonna equip this and add this to cargo. Starbreaker lance weapon. Short range dorsal macro cannons, which fire 2 shots dealing 40 damage. Medium range dorsal lance weapon dealing 32 to 40 damage. Damn. And let's equip this. This one let's leave for now. For the 14. No, let's do cargo. And you Mark 100. Okay, no, it's not as good as the one I have. So the cargo. Development. Nothing. Posts. Do I have anyone who can fit the bill here? Focus efforts, and so if I put you... No benefit, let's give it to him at the very least. Better at it. Components. We're good. Then let's traverse the void. Where are we? Tenebris Aquae. Unsafe travel. Box Master Victus. Lord Captain, the Lex mechanics assigned to the Astropathic Chapel reporting a significant drop in our communications potential. This may be a consequence of the telepathic ritual with which your lordship deigned to participate. The enforcers report that the choir master asked for an audience with the Lord Captain and has since locked himself in the chapel, refusing to let anyone in. As brazen as the audience request may seem, I cannot check the feeling that it is a cry for help. Let's go. The Master of Arms reports a disturbance in the Foundry Bay. A certain Nemesite, an avenging figure beloved by the lower deck rabble, shot the commandant during a routine medical supply delivery and called on the vessel's stores to fight for a better life. The rabble immediately plundered the medical storehouse and proceeded to smash other supply stations, slaughtering officers as they went. Nemesis has escaped, and the situation on deck is increasingly spinning out of control. The Master at Arms asks permission to employ the harshest possible treatment, not simply restore order, but to avenge their commandant as well as the fallen soldier. No, gonna comfort the exhausted people, giving them medicine and supplies. The unrest has subsided. While the Zeus praise the rogue trader's generosity, the enforcers gloomily predict that the rabble will simply shed blood even more quickly and willingly the next time they find themselves lacking for something. A mysterious sickness struck the clean living in one of the macro cannon chambers. The disease quickly spread, causing the afflicted to writhe with unbearable stomach cramps and expire after several days of agony. Before the officers could react, the neighboring clans took the issue into their own hands and flooded the chamber with carbon monoxide. The macro cannon was put back into service, and the vigilantes were punished for subjecting the rogue trader servants to mob justice. Jesus, all that in one trip? The material released us from its grip this time. Good lord. We're gonna visit, but we're also gonna go first into the ship and have a meeting with our dear astropathic choir master. Because something's up. Something's definitely strange in the neighborhood. Astropathic Chapel. Yeah, this crew is good. I love how many party members there are. You always have a choice of a lot of people, different kind of skill sets. The only one I'm not that much of a fan of is the tech priest. Ooh, yeah, that looks at yeah, this is warp. This is warp energies rampant. Zachary Weiss, what's going on? An unpleasant heaviness grows in your head, as if a vice were slowly tightening its grip on your mind. The choir master is kneeling, his burnt-out eyes peering into the void. He raises his head, and you can see a weary old man, weak and frightened. He whispers, "She is here. Adelaide has returned. She's asking me for her, but you scare her. She's hiding from you. You will not harm her, will you?" From every direction, every shadow comes playful girlish laughter. At times, it transforms into an old man's rueful weeping, at other times, into a deep growl of annoyance. The sounds from cold, malicious words. The sorrow will be eternal. A gentle, scornful laughter cuts through the sinister whispers. Sorrow? To perceive corruption is a triumph, for once you perceive it, you can eradicate it. Coward, blasphemous swan! I hear your voices and I follow the trail. Adira, the whispers keep saying we should kill old Vice. They're just so giddy about it. I guess we shouldn't kill him then. The whisperers never get excited about anything good. Address the shadow. What twisted creature are you? I am the victims. I am the murdered innocents. I am his guilt. Fire Master, what's going on? Why says nothing? His otherworldly gaze is directly through you and past you, to a spot further inside the chapel. His lips suddenly whisper her name over and over. How do I find Adeline? Adeline? She is there, in the shadows. Many shadows lie. The true ghosts are hiding among the false ones. But I hear Thaddeus' earnest prayer and old Stavros' words of disappointment. He always doubted my talents as a mentor. I hear poor Antonius' scream, the scream he let out when he unwillingly gave up the last of his vitality. Annis, please, I condemned her to an existence as a half machine. I almost sensed Savidia's touch. She tried to save me, but she fell instead. So many voices, all condemning me for what I did. Find them. Separate the true voices from the false echoes. I will find your Adeline and bring her into the light. Why do you seek his redemption? He was always a terrible leader and talentless mentor. He doomed everyone. He was arrogant, having no notion of his own wretchedness. He did not put his faith in the Emperor, but instead believed himself to be invincible, and he paid for a mistake with our lives. It was cruel and painful. We begged him to reconsider, but he took our minds away as punishment. But we were loyal to him regardless. We tried to save him even though he had not saved us. He is guilty. Let's go fight something. The soul of another is with no way out.
Forge ahead, never linger.
Oh, look at that. Oh. Thankfully, my health is regenerating. Because that hurt. Ascend to confound directly steps away from the dolmen.
Let's see this through.
There it is. Thaddeus. We know which is the one. Thaddeus. Is there a clue for their presence?
Onward to victory.
Hey? Antonius. Okay, we got the third one. No, this is not gonna be. It's gonna be the one right next to him. Hopefully. And Savitia. There we are. The ghost stares at Wise mournfully. The muffled sob coming from her apparition almost seems to take physical form as it drifts towards the choir master and envelops him. Do not harm her, please. The poor girl is frightened to death. Let me talk to her. I cannot fail her again. Requires iconoclast adherent. Touch Wise's hand. It's not her. You cannot wallow in your own guilt forever. There are people out there and in here who depend on you. Living people. I'm gonna use that one. I know, your lordship. I know this is not Adeline, but an echo of the one who devoured her soul. I just wanted to see her again. Hear her voice for a brief moment. Ghost of my failure. Now is your time to vanish. Thank you, your lordship. The burden was too heavy for me to bear. Are you all right? In a bodily sense, yes, your lordship. What was that, choir master? A reckoning, Lord Captain. A reckoning for my great arrogance. Demons have been pursuing me for years, following my scent, sending me dire messages, hunting me. And now they have me. The entities that manifested here during the ritual were banished, but a lingering echo of their presence has latched onto the shadows. It has sprouted in the darkness and pounced upon my mind. Why are demons pursuing you? I am guilty. I wronged them. I had been promised a great future at the Scholastica Psychana, for my talents were exceptional. But fate would not have it, and instead of serving on Holy Terra, I ended up here in the Expanse, where barely a gleam of the Astronomicon reaches. My pride took a heavy blow, but my spirit was not cowed. I set about to assemble a choir unlike any yet seen here. A mighty, resonant, astounding choir. Lady Theodora expended tremendous resources bartering with captains and governors to procure astropaths of my choosing. I brought together talents and budding geniuses under my authority. They were to ensure I would make a triumphant comeback. And they could do that for me. That team of brilliant astropaths whose talents were honed to perfection. Adeline, Annis, Antonius. Every one of them surpassed myself as I used to be. I saw what my time was coming, and I lied when I told you it was Lady Theodora who had forced us to go through the ritual. The idea had been mine. When, in her paranoia, her ladyship set out to find spies aboard the ship, I made her an offer. A ritual that would give her the names in exchange for my fledgling's freedom and my own. It was a good deal. She was willing to trade 7 astropaths for the names of the traitors, and I doomed them all. My pride killed them. What went wrong during the ritual? Adeline was my ritual protector, only to become my greatest vulnerability. When the mad stream of other people's thoughts started to disorient my astropaths, I became frightened for her. I hesitated. I wanted to spare her, and I lost control. The right thing to do would have been to sacrifice her, but I couldn't. I'd always had a soft spot for her. Her genius had made her my favorite. If you got your freedom, why did you stay on the ship? At first, Lady Theodora wanted to have me executed for what had happened, but then she regained her composure and graciously agreed to honor our deal. But where was I to go? My dead were all here. What about the other voices? Were they your apprentices as well? Not all of them. Stavros was the oldest of the choir. He had been on the ship even longer than I. Mighty, wise man if acrimonious. He envied me and criticized my ambition, but I was fond of him all the same. Thaddeus was the ship's confessor. Theodora had insisted on his presence. When it was over, he was the only other survivor, and he confronted me with angry accusations. I could not bear to listen to him, so I silenced him, killed him. Vitia was an ordinary servant. She fought the Immaterium's monsters until the war began to prevail. She tried to save me, to lead me away, but I did not listen. She stayed at my side until the last moment and died a terrible death, all because of my accursed pride. The rest were my voices. Antonius was the youngest. He had been in the choir only for a short while. When the situation turned dire, fear got the best of him, and I was infuriated by his weakness. I dominated Antonius' mind and impelled him to use every spark of his life to force the ritual. Annis' doom came even earlier. She was the one person who told me in front of the choir that the ritual was madness. In my anger, I ordered her servitorized. I believe I had to protect my authority. She died on the spot where you're standing now. I think she was still aware. All my voices. I remember the name of each one whose life I cut short within these walls. Now I know the truth. That is for the best. I can no longer carry this burden alone. With Lady Theodora dead, the thought of my crime being forgotten, erased from history, is unbearable. I want to be judged and condemned. You have already condemned yourself to years of torment. Cannot give you new punishment of forgiveness. You must forgive yourself. You have not allowed the warp to break you, and I believe the Emperor's light is strong in your soul. Continue your service, for humanity needs you, and in duty you will find redemption. Now you think I like this one? I'm gonna give you a chance to redeem yourself. You are right, your lordship. Wishing to abandon my post is cowardice and an offense against him. Please take it. The mighty instrument is the last reminder of Adeline and the others of my guild. It was with this I performed the last ritual. I have no right to carry it any longer. I would like it to be yours. A reminder of the painful lesson my pride has taught me. Detachment from death. Dira. I want to see what Visions of Death is. Mental damage with the Psyker. Ooh, nice. Let's go with the Dira and equip this new one. There it is. So this one has lightning, and this is the one with the Viner. Plus 5 power for Soul Power. Yep, this looks cool. Back to the bridge, people.
Marching ahead.
Woo! One quest complete. On to the Expanse. And the next bit of the hero's quest. Violent battle is unfolding before the Rogue Trader's eyes. Patrol ships from the Korda fleet are tearing apart two small Eldari vessels. Once they are finished with them, the void ship gives chase after the third, already damaged vessel, clearly with the intention of destroying it as well. Seeing the last ships have been in death, Ira calls out to the Lord Captain, her voice trembling slightly. Only the Rogue Trader's intervention can save her kin from the massacre. With that message, Sandy Korda's fleet, ordering them to stop the battle. The Valk Master relays the Lord Captain's demand to stop the battle and soon returns with a reply. According to the Korda ship, the group of Xenos are malicious criminals. They are guilty of raiding the system's planets and robbing the merchant vessels. Incendia Korda's void ships are intent on performing their duty before the Emperor and exterminating the Xenos. Analyze the intact Xeno ship. Despite the presence of some weaponry, the Xeno ships are more likely meant for transporting cargo, or the Xenos themselves are in direct combat. This is too low. Let's go with coercion. Unwilling to engage in open battle against a flagship of a foreign dynasty, the patrol reluctantly leaves its prey and retreats at the edge of the system. Meanwhile, the wounded Xenoship is rapidly distancing itself from the recent battlefield, attempting to hide in the shadow of the nearest world. Every attempt to contact is met with frustration. The Vox Master reports that the vessel is in deplorable condition. Who knows how much more xenotechnology can endure before the irreparable happens. The Eldari are too scared and resentful of the monkey for the recent deaths of their kin to answer incoming hails. Despite this, Juliet is certain that she can convince him to cooperate with the Elantak if she is allowed to speak with him. Let's sure. Juliet appeals to her kin's wisdom, but the words of the outcast cannot make them trust the monkey. The pain loss fills the Eldari hearts. Only recently did the humans destroy two vessels of the children of Asurian, and now they offer aid. Worse, they offer aid through the mouth of the captive sister. No, the Eldari will not fall for this trick. Trying to outpace the pursuit of the next monkey vessel, the Eldari overload their void ship drives. One of the damaged engines is unable to bear the strain. Before the eyes of the 100 officers, the Xenoship flashes a fiery light blue through the stained glass windows of 1,000 shining shards. Yep, they die. The rich officers openly rejoice, offering praise to the Emperor. Today the Expanse is cleansed of more filth, the enemies of humanity. What is if not his providence? And only the thin figure of the Eldari stands motionless against the backdrop of the intricate stained glass windows, mourning the fallen in solemn silence. Once the pain in Juliet's soul is numbed, she turns to the Lord Captain and nods, a short gesture of gratitude for their attempt to save those who could hardly be saved. I mean, I did my best, lady. Ooh, there's a Hulk. This one is devoid of even the most primitive form of life. However, the crew has made quite a strange discovery. A mirror lying in the center of a huge crater. A completely ordinary mirror in frame, but by all appearances, it's in pristine condition. Destroy immediately. The crew blasts the crater, raising a cloud of dust that blocks the auger array. Confirming the mirror's destruction is impossible for the time being, but it could have survived such a powerful explosion. Definitely not. Yeah, not even gonna take a chance. Go to the Hulk. A vigilant member of the Auger crew has detected a small Xenos vessel drifting through the void. The ship is unpowered and shows no signs of being crewed. Then out of the boarding shuttle. The squad boarded the vessel without issue. Corrosion has laid waste to the ship's systems, which led to the death of the entire crew. The interior is full of Eldari corpses. No weapons were found on board, and the dead Xenos, judging by their clothing, were not part of any warrior caste. Merely the crew of the now defunct ship. The Xenos earlier claims to have recognized the symbols of the dead Eldari clothes. They were civilian refugees from the craft world Kudara. So nothing interesting then. Nothing in this one. The last thing we'll do is enter the battle. A lot of asteroids here, huh?
I lift up my voice in prayer for this vessel and its hallowed guns.
Okay, so we're kind of screwed here. Magnus Rogus Stratus.
Helmsman, follow my command. Commence lance fire. Engage the lance batteries! Purify the battlefield! Deploy torpedoes! Adjust heading.
Okay. Ooh, that hurt.
Destination locked in. Commence lance fire. Fire at will.
Cool. These guys have a lot of range, huh?
Let the enemy burn. Torpedoes!
Sure, go nuts. So far, nothing's been really... Let me move you over here. Blow up.
Another knock on the macro cannon. Ready for impact. Direct our course. Commence land fire.
Oof, that hurt.
Macro cannon fully.
Reinforce shields. Go. Oh, you're gonna get right in front of me? No, you're gonna go. Ooh, you're gonna go all around the big. All around the big. Okay. Let's move over here, strafe. See if we can rearrange. Let's go over here.
Destination locked in.
Hopefully, with the dorsals, we'll be able to get a big hit in. Yeah.
Engage the lance batteries. Launch corpse.
Get the torpedoes, not to get the pedos out. Get the torpedoes out. Otherwise, it's a very different meaning. Get the pedos out. What? Let's do this one.
Follow my command.
This should be it. Goodbye.
Let the enemy burn.
Victory!
All clear. Congratulations.
Trigger generator ghost plates. Ooh, can I re-upgrade? Oh, yes. Arc Augury. The faction next shot gains 2 extra damage. Expeditious reload. Focus efforts. Allows people to use the ability at one selected post for one turn. Oh, that's pretty good. Shield pulse. Although the enemy shields. Interesting. So it weakens the shield on the part closest to on the side I can target. Warp wave blows the material causing an enemy ship to immediately turn 40 or 90 degrees depending on the ship's maneuverability. Ooh, makes it turn. No, let's do vulnerability scan. I like that a lot. And ultimate post abilities. All hands on deck! The function abilities are loaded with 3 torpedoes always instead of 1. Whoa! Oh, I like this. Let's get this one. Components. I think we need to... We don't really need to repair. Everything's kind of good. Hey, now we got Master of Theorics can add that skill to us. Perfect. Oh, he is. There he is. Oh, the symbol on them is literally really just the position I have them in. Not that they are corresponding to that class. I'm an idiot. Oh. I think the Magnus Rogus Stratus is a good ship. It's on a good... Doing good. It's doing good. Okay, Cross Expanse. We're done with this place. Now, there's another place I want to get to. Let's see. There is a system. Nola, Frozen Prince, Empress Palm, Branagh. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. Yeah, Kiagama. Chart new routes. Get us closer. Let's go to this one first. Because it's safe and I don't need to worry about things coming out of the warp to mess with my crew. I've taken too many hits. Is this the water world? I need more extractium. I don't know how to get them because I don't have the resources for them. The Sandteal's pride hives are oozing noxious haze, veined with sulfurous streaks. The Promethean fumes from the gigantic distilling cauldrons located beyond the Templars' shields. Vast, endless deadlands littered with spots of Promethean stations and refineries separate the colossi of Rockcrete and Adamantine with its crown of gargantuan spires. The heat of the system star has turned this world into a boiling but lucrative gland within the body of the House Chorda's protectorate. It's hard to tell what's more impressive, the grotesque grandeur of this place, or its extreme toxicity. It's a world. This world is from the Chorda protectorate, one of my rival houses. Yeah, 17. Can't do anything about it. At some point, I will be able to unlock a bunch of extractiums, and I'll be making. And I'll just be revisiting everywhere, making bank. Ooh, we made it safe. Lord Captain, an urgent report from the vessel Shrine. A group of unknown assailants has invaded his temple and plotted the incorruptible relics of your ancestors, slaughtering devout worshippers as they went. The high factotum is among the casualties. No! Had Master Montek and Mr. Sauerkraut not arrived in time, fortunately. High factotum is among the casualties. Had Master Montek and Mr. not arrived in time. Fortunately, Master Danrock survived and remains conscious, albeit in great pain. He implores your lordship to come to the temple and hear his confession. And so it comes to pass. I performed the reading of his shadow after the morning watch siren, but the visions sent to it by the Undying One were too indistinct. I saw rivers of blood flowing towards the bones of the dead, and a blurred figure, laughing, treading upon the ashes of the fallen. It is now clear. The Undying One desires me to follow the vigorous tracks. Thus my hunt begins. Yes. I want to go because somebody heard my high factotum. That's my merchant dude. That's the dude I go like, hey, I need to trade. Hook me up. What in the ever-loving hell? High factotum. The Master of Arms is barking orders. Professor Adelberg is murmuring a prayer, and the Infernus Master is circling the chapel with a keen eye, as if watching for a threat. Ibella quickly sweeps her gaze over the destruction before focusing on the bloody footprints that stretch from the ruins of the reliquary. Oh, you're good. The High Factotum's velvet coat is streaked with blood, and Janris himself is deathly pale. A Medicae officer is working on the back with a black gunshot wound in his chest, and Janris grunts faintly with every touch. He focuses his eyes on you with tremendous effort. Forgive me for not greeting your lordship with a bow. I must tell you, Nemesis has stolen the great relic. Oh. Let's go. Yeah, let's go after Yokasa, because for all she keeps claiming that she's the best, she's good at her job, stuff keeps happening. And her only response is ever, let's beat the crap out of people. Jocasta, this is on you. They had help. We discovered the hidden corpse of several chapel attendants. The traitors took the clothes and let Nemesis and his accomplices straight past the patrols. They were good people, pious people. They never slighted a serf in their lives. Why punish them? I swear that these innocents will be avenged. May the Emperor be my witness. Generous, what happened? Serfs in red headscarves burst into the chapel and started shooting. Their leader made for the relic, the remains of honorable rogue traders brought here from the mutant solid crypt. And when I realized that the sacred ashes of your ancestors were about to fall into the filthy hands of a heretic, bent on desecrating the glorious dynasty, no, that could not be allowed to happen. I blocked this path. The bastard allowed himself a few vile insults against me, which I am obliged to admit, but I did not give in to the provocation. I was hoping to buy myself some time. Then this so-called Nemesis started reviling the customs of the ship, berating its officers and enforcers. Before insulting the very name of your lordship yourself, I threw my glove in his face and demanded a duel. But the honorless villain just shot me. He laughed at me, the depraved creature. So you're telling me some dude broke in, like just straight up killing people, and you thought he was gonna answer to a declaration of a duel? Sorry to say, Janris, you deserve getting shot. And then he committed sacrilege by stealing the relic and shattering the sarcophagus. Forgive me, your lordship. I have failed to preserve the sacred ashes of your ancestors. Inspect the empty altar behind them. The reliquary has been brutally smashed. How exactly did he insult? I beg forgiveness, your lordship. I dare not repeat the slander. Hold on, Janris. I will not let you die here. Proud to serve the dynasty. The paper, your lordship. Have the clerk double-check the freight bills. I did not have time to get the seals. My will is in the left-hand drawer. Nemesis, you're another spin on that old wives' tale. The old wives' tale was blessed with amazing corporeality. Whoever the bastard in the red scarf was, he went by that name and spoke very impertinently of your lordship. He dared to mock the general... You calmed the unrest on the lower decks by bribing the people, yeah. He dared to mock your generosity and sincerely thank you for the supplies you used to pacify the serfs of the Foundry Bay. The scoundrel boasted that his fighters have made good use of the gifts. Just another arrogant rebel, wrapping himself in a crimson rag and wreaking havoc for the adoration of the commoners. Not this time, no one has ever dared to raid the upper decks before. Never in the ship's history has the fury of the rabble been so blind and fierce. How badly is the High Factor wounded? He's losing a lot of blood. I advise you to hurry. Master Downrock should be on the chirurgeon's table as soon as possible. I am holding on, your lordship. We're not. What matters now is that you recover the relic. Some miracle preserved Master Downrock's life long enough that he might address you. His fate now rests in the hands of the Emperor. May he show mercy to this selfless man. Heinrich, did you see the attack? I didn't. I was on my way to offer a prayer when I heard gunfire and ran as fast as I could. When I got here, I saw Master Danrock, and I think the next thing I did was just press his wound and spout curses. So much for being a heroic repairman. I wasn't much use. I was like, I'm starting to think that he's the guy behind it. He was just curiously here. I will strangle this nemesis with my own two hands. May the Emperor protect your... Apologies, your lordship, but we are taking Master Danrock away. He's unable to tell you anything more at present, and every second of delay could cost him his life. Yeah, take him. So, what do we have so far? Master Danrock is on his deathbed, and all the attackers are either dead or have absconded along with the sacred relic. And the witnesses all agree on this one thing. Nemesis and his accomplices came out of nowhere and struck suddenly. Only the throne knows where we can find these bastards now. We will find them. We will turn this vessel inside out if we must. There is nowhere even a void right can. There is no need. The Blood's whisper will lead us to Nemesis. The Blood's whisper. Did you perform another divination? Yes and no. His tarot guided me here and told me of the evil that lurked in the shrine, but beyond that, the bloody path carelessly tread by the raiders will reveal the truth. With all due respect, Spinner, the enforcers have already questioned all the witnesses and compiled an extensive list of evidence, none of which tells us anything about how or where the troublemaker calling himself Nemesis might have escaped to. Kibella, tell us everything you know. Kibella sharply turns to face the crimson splashes on the floor and walls of the shrine. Her pupils dilate, starting to drown her irises in darkness. Her expression turns distant, her voice becoming low and strange. This blood is drawn in a pattern of retribution. The one who spilled it appeared later. They moved swiftly and furiously, numb to their own wounds. An enforcer who was drawn to the gunfire and witnessed this sacrilege, probably. As for this pattern, Kibella points to a barely visible chain of scarlet droplets. It was made in fury and desperation. The one who left it was wounded, but they did not flee. They fought back while they could, and then they retreated into the darkness. Into the darkness of the maintenance tunnels hidden within the walls of the shrine. If the attackers have escaped through the maintenance tunnels, we can send the enforcers after them. The technical corridors extend hundreds of meters in different directions. Nemesis and his men must be familiar with the tunnels and possess either a map or a guide. Without a clear trail, the enforcers risk getting lost and wasting valuable time. Not to mention the fact that those narrow tunnels are perfect for an ambush. So we still have no idea where to find Nemesis. The tunnels only answer the questions of how he left. Now Death will tell us where he was heading. Ooh, tell me. I'll be right back. We need to get a drink. And I'm back. That was quick, huh? Just need to pour the drink. Yes, because all this reading is getting is you know, my throat needs some liquid. As if in a trance, Kibella leans over a body and peers into its eyes. He stinks of smoke, the smoke of singed coveralls, vile illo sticks, burned sacred unguents, and charred meat. She slides a pale hand along the dead man's skin and snakes it under the sleeve of his coveralls, which she pushes back to reveal a fresh burn, bandaged with a torn scrap of a shirt. Her steel claws dig into the dead man's arm. Your wound holds the answer. You dressed it carefully, not inside the shrine, before that. Something struck you, ripped the tissue apart, burned you, turned your hand into a worthless lump. It was not fire, no. Drawing a ragged breath, Kibella opens her eyes. The fury of the conductive charge. It has mocked you, heretic. I recognize your wound, for I myself have encountered it on those I take to the other side within the plasma drive chambers. The plasma drive chambers, again! Are you certain? The Undying One has blessed with the ability to see the truth in death. How can anyone doubt the revelations his blessing bestows? I can't say if it's worth drawing conclusions based on a conversation with the corpse, but if it is, then I concur with the esteemed Spinner's findings. All of that about burns, the conductive charge, and the smell of cheap illo immediately made me think of the plasma drive technical compartments. Makes sense to me. Power back, get the enforcers. We'll follow Nemesis' trail. No, Coming Octavius, you must stay. You are the one that Nemesis has challenged. And those we hunt know you by sight. We will frighten away the prey, and we will lose the trail until the next tragedy occurs. So what do you suggest we do, Kibella? I will go to the plasma drive chambers alone. I will track down the false champion and all who serve him, and I will prepare the grounds for your own hunt. Out of the question. An enforcer squad would certainly scare off the vermin, but I'm not letting you go alone, Servant of Death. You and I will go to the chambers together, and together we will bring down all who have dared to insult the Lord Captain. I'm going too. I have a couple of good friends in the plasma drive chambers. The nosy kind who know everything about everyone. Convincing them shouldn't be difficult, especially if for a few favors. Oh, it'll be the three of us then. What a company. Kibella takes a long look at the officers' faces and finally nods her assent. So be it, but not like this. Much like your faces, your guises are too conspicuous. Kibella is right. It will be prudent to use a disguise. Oh, damn it. I picked the wrong one. Before I depart to hunt the Nemesis, I ask the Domin to bless me. I pledge never to leave your side. If the hunt demands I do just that. Grant me the permission by performing the ceremony of twinning. When your people have taken their leave, under the gaze of the Undying One will begin the rite. What is the ceremony? Write the blessing for the sacred hunt. With it, the domain casts a shadow over the path of carnage. Under your benediction, I will strike harder and treat more softly. Very well, let the ceremony commence. With your permission, Lord Captain, the Infernus Master and I will take our leave now and set out to prepare for the descent into the chamber. We dare not intrude, your lordship. Sit down now, Domin Octavius, and listen. Let the ceremony of twinning begin. You are my Domin, I am your blade, and I am honed by your blessing. My arms are strong while your will is strong, and as long as the Undying One hears your prayers, my feet will go unheard. With our blood, with our will, we shall spin a scarlet web, the symbol of the hunt. May it herald your praised demise. Gibella puts the dagger into your hand, and suddenly you feel how heavy your eyelids have become. Your heartbeat slows inside your chest. Your words linger, then rush through your mind in a deluge. The heavy scent of incense envelops you and makes your head spin. You have my permission to go on this hunt. Make a small cut of your body. Yeah, let's be good with her. The pain gives way to a burning sensation as Gibella grasps your hand and squeezes it over the ritual cup. But this new discomfort is quickly replaced again, this time by a dull numbness and the faint warmth of blood flowing from your open wound. The twinning is the blood oath I have made to my lord. Gibella dips her fingers into the spilled blood and traces a symbol. First on her own forehead, then on yours. It appears to resemble a blade that's cutting through an intricate knot. Anoint me with your blessing, Domin Octavius. May the ceremony of twinning commence. May your loyalty to the flagship, your fury and resolve be unshakable. One who follows the thread of the web fights not out of rage, but with a mind as cold as stone. Nevertheless, rage can be a potent weapon in the hands of a punisher. I understand, Domin Octavius, so accept your blessing. Your body cannot accompany us on this chase, Domin, but your spirit, there is nothing the spirit cannot do. The twinning is complete. You and I are now bound by the blood oath. Think of me while I hunt, and I will think of you. Become a thought flowing through my mind. If the Undying One is gracious to us, he will send you dreams, and in those dreams you will see me. He is more gracious still. Those dreams will be truthful. I trust you, Gibella. Let us begin. Watch now, Domin Octavius. What does thy seeing eye behold in the converging patterns of blood? You see shifting images in the blood, a spider crafting a fine web, blurred shadows that could resemble either a swarm of void rats or an enraged hound, crossed blades, a card of the Emperor's Tarot. But as soon as your gaze lingers on any of them, reality bleeds through the fluid shapes. Soon your spirit will be able to follow me. I will bid the servants to carry your body to your chambers, where you will not be disturbed. Wait in silence and safety. For me, the hunt has begun. Gibella's footsteps fade away, melting into the same impenetrable darkness in which your consciousness is extinguished. Cool. So this is the way they excuse they're going to be controlling another party member instead of the main character. Stale air, oppressive noise. The hum and whir of machinery drown out all thoughts. This place rings with tension. Is the powerful energy coursing through the cables, or have the wails of the workers merged into a cacophony of indignant whispers and desperate prayers? Lost, mired in petty troubles, unmindful of duty, their voices creak as if covered in rust, and their eyes are dimmed by the endless drudgery and lack of light here on the working decks of the Domin's great ark. I've seen it before. In these murky depths, people become creatures all too ready to devour each other for worldly gains. Fleeting pleasures or imaginary freedoms from obligation born from the abyss of spiritual emptiness. The Undying One punishes them through me. Disgusting mutations, abominations, reflections of vice are born in these shadows, and I will be their doom. The thread shakes, the web is taut. I step silently. May the great hunt begins. I taste the air, The scent of fresh dye with a subtle note of sparks. This is new, pleasant. The upper decks reek of luxury, but here I feel comfortable. There is something else. This is it. I recognize the smell. Unguent, elo, or low, and burnt meat, just like inside the shrine. I must come to spin the scarlet web. To find the enemy, I must listen, inhale, exhale, inhale. The rhythmic beat of engines and pumps. That is the ship's breathing. That is the ship's heartbeat. Is it strange that I feel home among the workers of the lower decks, past their time, like the living dead? Warmth spreads through my chest. I like to think that is the connection with which the Undying One bound by the Domin's fates together. He has blessed us, and we hunt as one. I step silently. Darkness is our ally. Merge with the shadows. In the twilight of the chamber, barely illuminated by the flickering candlelight, I become like them, the lost, mired servants. They will become unwitting allies in my hunt. Their hopelessness, their desperation, their thirst for survival will become tools for my use. Where's the second spinner? We were supposed to meet here. I'm not sure, but I don't like the way the locals are staring at us. Maybe it's your captivating charisma. Well, whatever. Footsteps, two are coming, toward me. Familiar gates. Those are the Domin's servants. I would not be surprised if Caldy set out on a trail and never sit alone. The spinners are arrogant. There's just another soul to them, a gift to their death, to offer death. Steel Mistress' voice is hard and cold, like her will. I can see in her eyes that she dislikes me. She is wary, and so she should be. For we serve the Domin, not one another. Does this remind you of anyone at all, Jocasta? This man is enamored with fire. Even his words sound full of biting flames. And he himself enjoys playing with fire. Too much so. They bicker again. Their mutual animosity may disrupt the hunt. Examining Steel Mistress and Flaming Voice. They are conspicuous. The clothing attracts the eye. I will use this. Let them become the thread that looms over these chambers. Let them steer the souls of the lay people, in whose hearts the fear of retribution will grow. I'm here. There she is. Welcome to the Brasser Drives, esteemed holy assassin. We can exchange pleasantries later. Lieutenant Godierda, wow, that's a name, is on duty in this compartment. I have ordered her to gather information on all the workers who have wear red scarves and who have recently left the bay. This is pointless. The red scarf is not proof of guilt. It is merely a symbol. It could be a trap. I need to find her. I'll watch the enforcer and those who are watching her in turn. Her enforcer knows nothing about life in the compartment. I guarantee it. I have a better source of information. A good friend of mine who knows a lot about delicate matters. It would be easy to get him to talk. He's terrified of pain and death. Only the faithless fear death. I will not trust him. Let him trust me so that his trust may become a snare for my hunt. I'll cut them off with a gesture. Their methods of hunting are not mine. But I take the grain of truth from their words and move it into my plan. We need to provoke them into making a move. Instill a false sense of impunity, convinced that they can and must act now. This enforcer wants to seal Mistress, a symbol of order and obedience in these chambers. She is standing in the way. When she disappears, my enemies will believe it's safe to strike, and that will be a costly mistake. Intimidate them with an impending threat. Flaming Voice relies on a talker, one who keeps no secrets and fears pain. An unreliable vessel is bad for holding secrets, but good for stealing them. Oh, sorry, it's my door. Be back in a second.
The web beckons.
And then the lever smacked you right in the kisser. Ha! Give or take a tooth. This is nothing. Bruce's burn cuts. That's his life. Just remind yourself how you come home after your shift, having exchanged your ration card for a bowl of soup. How your little ones gulp that bowl down. How they fall asleep. Feeling a little better. I say it's worth a hard day's work and a punch in the face. Not everyone is as chipper and thick-skinned as you. A bowl of soup is great, he says. What about having to choose which of your 3 kids gets it? Is that great too? Beatings are nothing, he says. Remember when the enforcers broke your arm? Yes, the hunt has just begun. I think I've already gone here, yeah.
Follow the threads.
Become a shadow and hear the voice of the crowd. I'll come back later.
My visions showed this path, and many others.
At some point, I should be able to put down, you know, set up the rumor somehow. The rumors of danger. No. No, it's down here.
Watch out. Follow my steps.
Where is the enforcer? Whip. Ready to burn the board as you... Keep it down, will you? I understand you decide to curry favor, but do you have to do so loudly? Mr. Sauerkraut is already a colorful, attention-grabbing character all by herself. Don't you dare reprimand my own enforcers in front of me. We are conducting an inquest. Answer the spinner's questions. I hope you will be useful. Wait, what can your scars reveal to me? Yesterday she watches the serfs labor away, exhausting their last vestiges of strength. And there is no compassion in her eyes. They are simply a resource she is commanded to use and discard. She hates them because she blames them for her pain, her wounds. Nothing is unimportant during the hunt. Tell me what you know and I will listen. A group of workers wearing red scarves were seen in the compartment just after the attack on the shrine. The 4 men stated they were at work on the freight line. No gunpowder on their clothes, no fresh wounds. Too many of them have started wearing red masks. It muddles the trail. But we also found some red scarves and bloody rags in one of the shredders only shortly afterwards. We sealed off the exit and reduced the air supply to the maintenance tunnels to the absolute minimum. Now you can't stay in there longer than a few minutes without passing out. There's no way the bastards could have left the plasma chambers. They're definitely in here somewhere. Let the enforcers converse. We'll keep an eye on those around us. The workers hide their eyes, but I can hear the murmurs echoing through the bay. There is an impotent rage in their hearts directed at Whip, for she is the embodiment of the very order they despise. But why do they not realize that the enforcer is a shield as much as a lash? Some of the people I escorted to the other side looked at me the same way. In the past, I did not understand, but now, do the lay people see spinners performing their duty to the Undying One or enforcers performing theirs to the Dominus monsters? Do I sense the touch of his will? The Undying Emperor wishes to bestow a revelation upon me in this trying hour. Let his tarot show me the way. A wave of epiphany sweeps my thoughts away, pulling me into a blessed trance. My fingers move of their own accord over the sacred deck and draw a card. It is the martyr. I see a tear of blood wash over the pale features of the image, and they shift, becoming Whip's face. A portent for him. The Undying One blesses me to take whip. The minions of the Nemesis fear her. When her soul is delivered to the Undying One, the traitors will feel invulnerable. They will crawl out of their holes and fall into my web. I know how Whip's threat will end. I cannot sever Whip's threat with a blade, for the serfs would recognize me as one of the spinners and lose all courage. For the spark of the machine spirits in the plasma drive chambers has already claimed the lives of many. I will use this, and thus the web will be spun. So we need to do it like it's Hitman. We need to set up some kind of failure.
Another step, another thread.
That will get her killed. Where? Pain. Long time no see, Spindle. Tell me, what does silence taste like? Everybody knows silence doesn't taste like anything. If you want to earn rations, you better start dealing words. Who's that with you? An enforcer and a spinner? You want me dead? If anyone sees me talking to you, they'll snap my neck, so off you go. This wimp is your trusted source? He's pathetic. I never said Spindle was trusted. I said he knew what goes on in the plasma chambers. The quelling symbol of the needle's tip will loosen Saint's tongue. What is this feeling? So calm. Fine, ask whatever you want, but then leave. My reputation cost me a lot of blood, and I didn't earn it to have it trampled in the dust because you people happened to stop by. One glass is enough for me to see your true self, Stain. You are a liar and a manipulator, peddling other people's secrets and not knowing how to keep your mouth shut. You'll become the bait, sowing confusion among the minions of the Nemesis who hope to wait out the lockdown. They think they have enough time. I will deprive them of that confidence. Where do things stand in the plasma drive chambers? Speak briefly, speak sense. There's a bunch of workers in the far corner who now gather between every shift, whispering to each other. Well, if they're scared of my tongue... Oh, they don't invite me. They say I talk too much. Well, if they're scared of my tongue, that means they have something to hide. And of course, everyone's talking about Nemesis. Sure, the foundry and the chapel were big, but he's been helping people all over. A lot of folks are sticking with him now. You can knock my teeth out if I'm lying. Don't got many of those left anyhow. But I'll tell you, even if someone finds him, they won't rat him out. There will be a raid soon. Be careful. I warn you in appreciation for your cooperative nature. What are you? The information is not meant for his ears. Really? I see. Well, if that's all you wanted, then I can go. Can I go? No, Stain, and be my herald. It's difficult to admit, but I do share the Master of Dawn's indignation. We came here to get information about the traitors, not to reveal the secrets. When the renegades hear of the coming retribution, it will make them nervous, prone to mistakes, likely to give themselves away. But for them to take the bait, it must be compelling. Yes, I see. You getting my drift, huh? You catching my drift.
Death walks with me.
I just need to find a good place for things to go awry. Yep. I need to find the way to mess with the machinery to get that enforcer dead.
Follow the threads. No sleep, no rest. Only duty, only death.
Oh, there it is. Set up a trap by spilling the liquid. Okay. Now do it. Cable thrumming the power of the collective charge. A single swing of the blade will send the enforcer's soul to the Undying One.
Follow my steps.
Carry out the will of the Undying One. Okay, how about now?
Whisper and be heard.
Now to wait for this, for Whip to just step, for the little fly to step into my parlor, and for the web to be spun. I'm sure Jocasta will not be happy with me just smoking one of the enforcers. Instances of impunity in the traders by removing the deck enforcer. The quarry must... Okay. She's dead apparently. I wanted a cutscene of they're going like and dying, but no. The game would not give me that morbid satisfaction.
And many others.
Let's see if we can... Yeah. Ungrateful scum. We guard them and they dance on our bones. Remember that face. And I will come back. The lay people are huddled together in a pile of sweltering bodies. Filthy and battered by the enforcers' batons. Reeking of sweat and disease. Their hearts pump blood faster and faster through bulging veins as two of them send red-hot sparks into the air with their words like a hammer and anvil. Your plan appears to have worked, Spinner. The air itself is charged with something, but it is not the conductive charge. The serves, they are steering. Listen to the rapid beating of hearts. The lay people are frightened, angry. They feel the impunity that sprouted like a weed upon Whip's demise. They feel a threat crushing them from the upper decks, both imminent and inevitable. All those two talking about hammer and anvil. I can hear the whispers, insidious and deafening. No longer do they laugh with the others. No longer do they pretend. The enforcer is dead, and punishers from the upper decks will soon follow Nemesis' trail. This is our chance. We need to act. This is it. I can sense that the prey is close. They have little fear of giving themselves away anymore. They need a spark to ignite the flames. Something that will convince Nemesis' followers that they are strong, that the Domin's servants are diminished. Wait for the right moment and light the spark. They tell us this is how it's meant to be, just because they were born on the upper decks and we down below, in the darkness. Is it really the God Emperor's will that they grow fat on the fruits of our labors? Revel in the luxury where we die without water or medicine? No matter how hard you work, they will wring everything out of you and give you nothing. Who allowed this to happen? The rogue trader. His name be damned. A Grox on the throne. Okay. A lizard on the throne. A tyrant throwing our bones into the furnace of his protectorate. Shut your foul mouth, void dog. Flaming voice? No, it is too soon. I understand your anger, but you must temper it. What did you say about the Lord Captain? The one who gives you work, food, and shelter? You insolent deadbeats. I can see we've gathered here and will not let you start another rebellion. Why are you reaching for your Voxcaster? If you do not disperse, I will give the order to vent the plasma chambers. You have 5 seconds. Or he has to be the guy responsible, like trying to disperse them, scare them, so they don't give themselves away. I'm now very convinced that he is Nemesis. The tyrant's like, if you do this, you will die with us, you madman. To protect the Lord Captain and the crew? I see you've never met an Infernus before. Their faces are twisted with fear. Will they retreat? Will they flee? Will the hunt be thwarted? No. small throwing blade flies out of my palm and draws a scarlet line across Annabelle's neck. If I had wished it, she would be dead. But she continues to breathe and to bleed, and to scream furiously as she looks at me. As she looks for me. The Rogue Trader's assassins are here! Look! They wanted to kill me! Find the assassins! The lay people press in from all sides, pushing and shoving. Their faces are ablaze with terror and rage, and a violent energy boils through the mass of bodies. This power will be difficult to contain. Frightened people are dangerous people. The hunt was meant to go differently, but such is the Undying One's will. One voices rise above the others, the voice of a burly, bearded technomat, low as the roar of a furnace. Furnace smells of sweat and sacred unguents. He's not afraid, he merely pretends to be. Beneath the shadow of terror, I hear excitement. Do we deserve to be executed, my brothers and sisters? Have we not labored with the sweat of our brow? Have we not perished from the outbursts of raging machine spirits? Why do they call us rebels? Why are we being punished? Take a closer look at Fern. Strong, heavy, enormous hands whose blows should be feared. A great belly has become a symbol of his success. He does not starve. But those who follow him will not starve either. A powerful leader, recognized by the whole pack. Feel the flowing rage of these poor wretches. The flame burns high, for there is strong fuel at its heart. These people have amassed many grievances. The enforcers are cruel to them, for they believe that fear eradicates treason. The officers despise them, for their clothes and hands are filthy. The quartermasters rob them and withhold what is owed to them, for their clan is not strong enough to make demands. They are vulnerable. Their hearts are vulnerable. The Undying One commands us to spin a web to catch such hearts before they plunge into the abyss of treason. And so I am spinning the web. But there is something else mixed in their righteous indignation. Something that taunts them, excites them, angers them. It is something foul, hovering in the air, aberration. Think about Domin Octavius. I turn my thoughts to him, for it is his people that are standing before him. Standing before me, what would he do? The ones whose threat I know with my blood. I read writers who are nothing but name, and then you ask why you have been shown no trust. Yeah, my words frighten them, wound them because they are just. That makes their anger swell all the more. Why are you surprised? Have the officers ever treated us otherwise? A new voice, sandpaper rough, tears through the rumbling of the crowd. Its owner is ragged and filthy, and a feverish gleam burns in his eyes. His words inflame the people's minds, like rot feasting on a wound. Rot cries out mockingly, that's because you're afraid of them, but they're not afraid of you. They have the almighty baton, and all you have is the source of the power that feeds the whole ship. Why shouldn't they take you for granted? It serves you right, you cowards. His ugly shrieks spill like venom upon the sweating faces and slowly draw closer and closer. Sense the smell hanging over the crowd. I take a deep breath, and something stupefying, noxious, and luscious disturbs my senses. This is no ordinary odor, but something subtle and foul. It carries the same stench as rot. Skinny and scrawny, Rot leers at me with a gaping mouth. He is a nobody who has nothing. His body has wasted away from disease. His hands are 5 fingers short. His fate is sealed, and it makes him convincing. Everyone knows he has nothing to gain for himself, and thus no reason to lie. His poverty is his armor. Turn my thoughts to Domin Octavius. Domin takes care of all, for such is his burden, but he cannot save everyone. He only cares about his flunkies. The bile spraying from Fort Rot's mouth sizzles in the worker's mind like acid. It is burning them through. We will not commit rebellion, but we will not allow ourselves to be slaughtered by villains either. The law and the Emperor are on our side. A young woman steps forth, slender and supple like a rapier. If they want to crush us with the fear of death, let them kill us. It will only prove our righteousness. The ringing call is a command, pressing itself into their hearts. The foul stench of sacrilege almost knocks me off my feet. Hence the fetish stench of blasphemy. That tantalizing, elusive scent of rage, it is more than a stench, it's a tool. the weapon of the despicable trio, which they used to influence the mind of the lady, invisibly intoxicating their minds. The crowd reeks of flowering treason. I delve down into its root and realize that what it is that rejects his will. His sacred privilege is being attacked. He alone chooses who may journey to him. But these three instigators, they are determined to make this decision for themselves, dragging the souls of all around into the fires of violence with them. They are impudent upstarts who have put themselves above him, and above me, the second spinner of the blood-spun web, his chosen servant. The realization of such audacity burns my very soul. Field Arm Octavius loudly and exigently. Death will claim you all today, but not today, unless you are truly keen to meet its embrace. Let's do this one. The crowd does not answer. They do not hear me. The sacred promise of death no longer moves them, for they have fallen under the enemy's spell. They surround me, threatening, pointing fingers, cursing. They dare not strike, not yet. But already their enormous bulk presses down upon me as the smell of blood in the air grows thicker by the minute. Stand firm and do not resist. The crowd presses forward harder and harder. My breath is growing short, my bones are crunching. Somebody is screaming in face. I endure the stench. Stop, you are committing treason. They hear no more. They cannot, for the poison of disobedience has utterly filled their minds. But now I got a choice. Call on Sauerkraut and Montag to assist. But they're kind of useless. Or lose myself in a dance of blood. Power track, Montag assist me. My words are, lose myself in a dance of blood. I can bear it no longer. The blades in my hands sing, and blood streaks across astonished faces. I am done speaking and exhorting. I merely dance on the thread I have spun. I bestow death and blessed wounds. I catch a glimpse of Raber's cloven face and Furnace's open belly. Rost's severed hands fall at my feet, and its owner flees howling. I dance and breathe so freely. It did not go the way I had planned. The smell of blood lingers in the air like the stench of impending defeat. Two bodies are sprawled before me. I have severed their threads. The third blasphemer has managed to escape, but his disembodied hand also lies on the floor. Useless meat. What can these corpses reveal to me? Very little. The faint traces of the vile mutation that twisted their bodies. The foul stench of corruption emanating from their meat. They are the formed, strangely colored brains in their crushed skulls that spawned the heresy of sedition. What will the appearance of the survivors tell me? They huddled in the corners, ashamed of their own subservience. They try to convince themselves that the blood they so foolishly spilled would absolve them, but they know it is not enough. Are these two idiots still alive? Their threats have not yet been cut. I realize with astonishment that they are standing close to me. Flaming voices furiously reproaching all those who had only recently joined the revolt, while still Mistress booms like a siren, shaking her mole and threatening punishment. They are useless to the hunt now. It is time for the next step. A thrill runs through the strands of my consciousness. Is this Dominic Octavius? Can I truly feel him again, or am I imagining it? I need to concentrate. I gaze at the puddles of blood and the patterns they form. I see, a labyrinth. The Undying One has given me a sign. My hands find the sealed case in which his tarot cards reside. It is time for a divination in the blood of the dead. He will reveal to me the name of their unholy master. I draw the beginning of the spread. The Hound. I gaze at the card and the depiction of the Astra Militarum armored vehicle that bears a formidable name, the pursuit of truth, sacrifice, and victory. This is me, and I am on the right track. I draw the heart of the spread. A harlequin, inverted, lies, manipulation, a shadow play blocking my path. But it is a lie exposed, a deception that must be revealed. I draw the end of the spread. The preacher. A man who carries an idea and proclaims it. But who is it? Nemesis? One of his supporters? Someone already slain or someone still alive? The divination is unclear, so I draw a fourth card. It is dangerous to ask more of the Undying One, but I must know. The Aquila. His holy image watches me from within the card, and my heart grows frigid with the knowledge of what it represents. The Undying One has manifested his omen in the traitor's blood. The hunt that has begun will be completed by the unveiling of a great deception. Our enemy is elusive because he is a powerful ally, one who espouses faith in the Emperor on this vessel. The ship's confessor is in league with the Nemesis. He will be the next prey. Ooh, the confessor. Interrogate the ship's confessor. Let's level up my characters. The Wild Hunt. Oh, wow. Prior to the attack, all prey suffers -3, bounty hunting against small MP and hunt on the prey. One of the bounty hunting exactly one target, you mark your spray. One hunt deals 300% damage, yes. Bella, what do you got for me? The dispatch that kills the target, all enemies within 3-cell radius of the target. Use out disturb effect and deal resistance. This deals an additional from the missing wounds. Yeah, let's do this one. Vanguard, unyielding guard. Next time the Vanguard cannot die. Oh yeah, this one cannot die. Executioner. I think it uses Carnival of Misery. For any target that has suffered and will suffer damage when the executioner is combat, their armor does not reduce damage by damage over time effects. I like this one. And one random ally make 2 attacks instead of 1 during the orchestra firestorm and last volley. Now let's do this one. I like that a lot. I'll do this one. The loosest armor and deflection. So you, I've not leveled you up in a while. So in your case, it's gonna be toughness because you're lacking in that, and Guide of Souls. I like that. Mind over matter. Yes. Let's do adjusting frontline. And let's do arouse. Then another toughness. And lower warp. And then all allies in selected area gain 20% dodge, parry, and armor. Let's go for more attack. Overseer. He'll give you ballistic skill. Yes, Fire of the Forge is good. Yes, Master's Patronage is good. Weapon skill. Tech use. No, tech use is already super high. So, awareness. And then, the minute it becomes target of an enemy's attack, the Overseer has their damage dealt increased by 2. Overseer uses Overcharge to familiar against 30 to its key characteristic for 1 round. Yeah, let's do this one. Arch militant. Weapon skill. No, ballistic skill, because you have very little. Better to die for the Emperor. Yes, I like this one a lot. Then exploit weakness. Then Medicae, arouse, awareness. And then weapon skill. Your wounds on the effects of hero sacrifice. Ooh, I like this one a lot. I have barely leveled you up, so you got a lot of stuff coming. Weapon skill. Adjusting front line. Weapon skill. Blitz stratagem, I like. Coercion. If there are enemies in the backline area, the first attack in the turn that made by every ally in that area costs 1 AP. Yes, that's good. Intelligence, perception, willpower, ballistic, toughness. I want to give you where are you? All projectile weapon expert? No. Is there anything about Melta weapon? Yeah, Melta weapon proficiency. Strong point. Weapon, ballistic skill, or you? Weapon skill. And the coercion. You. Let's make you the defensive one. And then you, my buddy. You, I'm gonna give you ballistic skill for your shotgun. And demolition. Against one deflection 1 round. Yeah, let's use this one. Cool. Everybody's leveled up. Final sections of the charters are complete. The fire reckoning is now fully equipped. Yeah, let's go have a chat with our confessor. Okay. Agitator, sauerkraut. We're gonna go to the chapel to get to that confessor. Time to talk to him. Worship shrine. Let's talk to the confessor. Let's see if we can get him to confess. The divination has revealed that you stand beside the enemy nemesis. Speak only the truth before the Domin and the Undying. A defender of the people and the tyrant's minion are two faithful servants of opposing ideas. Two souls that have rejected everything else for the sake of duty. I now truly see that your collision with him was inevitable. I was warned about your visit, Octavius, as well as its purpose. I demand an explanation, Confessor, this instant. Your pet tormentor who extols death is right. I know Nemesis and I assist him, just like him. I am your enemy, Octavius. And I am also the enemy of your cruel regime, where life is dirt under the Enforcer's feet, where a man has nothing to eat, writhes in fear, and knows no escape. You treasonous impostor! To think that I listened to your sermons and was anointed by your hand. You will choke on your words along with the teeth that I'm about to knock out. You were so good about moaning about the servants he killed. I grieved for them, but they were unreliable. They could have compromised us. They had to die, but the fault for their deaths lies with you and your enforcer dogs, for fear of whom we are forced to hide. You're not even trying to lie. This is commendable. Why should I? If the dogs have come looking for blood, they will not leave without a kill. Such is your vicious nature, though you're a heretic then. No, heresy is what you and your fellow bloodsuckers believe in. The ecclesiarchy has turned faith into a whip to drive the powerless. The aristocracy has turned into a shield to cover the transgressions, and the enforcers has turned into a club with which to beat those who dare raise their voices. Your faith is an instrument of lies and suppression, and I renounced it long ago. My faith promises salvation, not thraldom. Betrayer of the faith, your blasphemous words will perish with you. Even when it is fighting injustice, your kind only manages to foster more evil in its midst. You holy people are all bloody hypocrites. You go on about how rotten we are, but take a knife and cut yourself a little, and we'll find the worst heretic of all. I too desire a better life for my subjects. The path of that need not be violent. Let us make peace and change the life on the ship together. Tortured doubt lingers on the Confessor's face for a moment before being superseded by his former conviction. Even if your intentions are pure, you are too tainted, poisoned. No, the matter is clear. You or us. Peace and coexistence are impossible. Who alerted you to my visit? My son, the protector of those whose blood you feed upon, whose hard work has paid for your content life is a different thing. Content life on the upper decks of the ship. Do you serve Nemesis or do you command him? I follow him as he once followed me. Nemesis is my son, if not by blood then in spirit. I took him in as a willful child, and I fostered the best in him. A passion for justice, the indomitable flame of a fighter, and unyielding determination. I've been preparing him for years. You have raised a living instrument that serves a purpose without question. Isabella speaks cautiously, and is not entirely sure of her judgment. What is his purpose? To be the hope. To break the shackles. To end the centuries of torment that have passed aboard this ship. A great sacrifice for a great cause. You should be familiar with his ways, except that instead of a sower of freedom, you were raised to be an executioner's sower of freedom. Sower. I think sowing discontent or sowing. Yeah, sower. What else were you lying about? One last confession. Why not? I am not Adalbert. That was the name of an initiate from a clan of confessors who passed away from disease many years ago. I was born in squalor on the lower decks, and at the behest of he falters as if he wanted to add something else. And it was by the Emperor's command that I took Adalbert's place through deception pretending to be him. The dead man had inherited much influence and many thrones from his clan, which hastened my successful rise to the ranks. But it was not for wealth and power that I did this. I accepted the burden of hard work to empower the common people, to pave the way for liberation from oppressions and injustice, and my part is almost done. Isabella whispers to you. I sense no lie in his voice or bearing. Come in, Octavius. He feels and welcomes death with open arms. The moment favors us. We must learn more. He who betrayeth his oath will not deliver Nemesis to us, but from his words we may divine knowledge of our enemy. How did your deception go unnoticed? You were not there for those years of pestilence. Your vessels attended every deck and died in multitudes. New ministers were recruited in every port and every station. Their names and faces blurred together, and we recognized our kin only by their robes. No one knew Annabelle's true face survived that time. No one who knew Annabelle's face survived that time. The Emperor saved me from being exposed. Your liberation is rooted in betrayal and bloodshed. This is war, Octavius. The war for our liberation, and we are willing to die and to kill for it, because our enemy is brutal and deaf to our pleas. You have deserved it. Baba reacts to his gesture with due suspicion, sharply gripping her weapon, prepared to eliminate any threat to you. So, Nemesis is just a man? Excellent. It is harder to kill a legend. The words of a tyrant inebriated with power and impunity. Nemesis is an idea, and you have the arrogance to believe you can kill an idea made flesh. It is better this way, so keep underestimating him. Are you hoping he will save you now? No, we decided otherwise. I'm not worth him risking his life, so do not expect to capture him through me. My son has no attachment, for they will only make him weak. He will gladly sacrifice himself for his dream of liberty and equality, and I must do the same. I only grieve that, thanks to your efforts, I cannot be near my son and ease his burden. Attachments make us weak. You made a weapon out of him, just as he made a weapon out of you. Any last words, Adalbert? The shackles will fall, and there will be nothing left of your tyranny, nor of you. Imposter Alabama sends you to death for treason. That's fair. You are responsible for the deaths of countless people. That must come for reckoning. Your separate family will be cruel. You and your son will see each other soon enough. Isabella, it was you who found them. Therefore, it is up to you to pass judgment. Isabella takes a step forward and makes a straight, sharp, sweeping gesture, as if crossing Annabelle's figure or severing an invisible thread. Death has whispered your name, betrayer of vows. The judgment of the Undying One awaits you. You seem to have mistaken my humility in the face of death for submission. It is not for you to desire my fate. I will make the choice myself. I will surrender my life in the fight for our future. I will die, but I will take you with me. He clicks his fingers, and the initiates who have been standing humbly around turn in your direction, their white robes opening to reveal a variety of weapons. For Nemesis, brothers and sisters! For freedom! Freedom! Oh, Captain, this is an ambush! They have been waiting for us! No, really? Goodbye, sauerkraut.
Another battle demands our attention.
Oh, we'll start.
Guided by faith! As the Emperor commands, I act.
Sign objective.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer.
Initiate Zeke.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Okay, Italy, it's time for you to do your thing. Painting attack.
I understand your intent. Just designate a target.
Fortune favors the swift.
Guides me. This tedium I see you moving no more.
Wait!
I will not.
The Sire Song guides me.
I've suffered worse.
Angel will reward us.
Damn, Thunder Slam.
Only the faithful will ascend.
They sound hereticish. Well, we're gonna do Mark Prey.
Easy.
Mark Prey. And Mark Prey. Piercing shot. Claim the bounty.
You clearly are outmatched. They won't expect this.
Okay. We're gonna go analyze enemies.
On it.
Then precise attack
Was that you? Or
where it hurts. Merciless
Will do.
verdict. And then we're gonna use ignite.
anything else?
And then for warning on
Will
Avalon.
do.
The true believers will inherit all.
Just a minor
Fine.
setback.
Okay.
I bring mercy and retribution.
Raining blood. Captive
The
audience.
shadows will see it done. As the tenets demand,
Team Death Whisper.
I shall not. As honor ordained, caught by the web, let your soul be purged. Trust me.
Oh, that hit really hard.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Let me do
Victory is
breakthrough.
imminent. I will do my duty. It will be done.
Haunting shout. And defensive stance. That's fine.
We bring deliverance.
That's perfectly fine. You can't see me. Hey.
I'll do it.
High momentum.
I am his will made manifest.
By the
None can escape the
Oh,
Emperor's judgment.
yeah! Oh, I love that skill.
Doubt is for the weak.
do it. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If I must. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
We bring deliverance.
Pain and duty go hand in hand. Who even taught you to fight like this?
Song guides me.
Rookies! Ah!
I know what to do.
Dominating shot.
Let's set this in.
But of course. Anything else? Will do.
The angel will reward us.
I will leave footprints of scarlet as the tenants demand. Killing brings me no pleasure. Let the blood of the wicked be shed as thou hast willed. I cannot serve you in this way. The shadows will see it done. As honor ordained, death is a blessing. Trust me, killing brings me no pleasure.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Aim for the heart next time.
Only the faithful will ascend.
Easy.
My faith shields me. As the Emperor commands, I act. Rejoice in battle! Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act.
If it serves your
Like
cause.
that.
This
Perfect shot.
tedium is beneath me. If it serves your cause.
And then... Right.
I am not your to deal death with my
Boom.
hands.
The true believers will inherit all. As said, so done.
Double slug or fulminating.
They won't expect this. Easy. diplomacy. That is how it's done.
Be gone!
Boom. The battle is over, and silence descends once again upon the chapel. Flakes of ash whirl quietly in the air before coming to rest on the blood trickling slowly across the floor. You ought to see this, Domin Octavius. Villa leans over the confessor's body and slices off the edge of his skull with a blade, revealing a tiny scar on the back of his neck. It looks like the one the captured worker in the plasma drive chambers had, except that this one clearly healed a long time ago. So he was connected to genetic aberration as well. Delightful. We now know much more about the enemy, about just how deep the poison of conspiracy runs within the veins of your ship. But the blood-spun web has wrapped itself around its base too tightly, and Nemesis can no longer hope to escape. Her ruminations are interrupted by a furious hiss. Sauerkraut snarls a curse through her teeth and spits at Albert's smoking remains. Her left arm hangs limp and her face is mangled by shrapnel. Oh, Captain, we have a prisoner. She points her weapon at the man standing hunched over in pain. Permission to finish off the cur. Out with the tyrant. I have questions for you, traitor. I doubt you'll like the answers. Were you serving Nemesis for a cause or simply for money? You promised us freedom. Are there any other senior officers helping you? Officers? Ha! There is no one else among them who is pure. They only care about power and gorging themselves on the scraps you throw them, or else they would have long since turned against you. Where's Nemesis' hideout? Even the confessor didn't know where it is. He was afraid of spies, or of giving his son's secrets away under torture. You see, you can't get to our champion. How many more of you mutineers are hiding on my ship? I want to know your names. I want to know where you meet. Everything. The confessor said every compartment has people who fight for our cause. They promised to take me into the circle of our most devoted believers. Then I would know, but even then, I would tell you nothing. Not even under torture. They were waiting for us. It was a trap. Yes, Lord Captain, Adalbert had been warned. Yet he chose not to flee. Instead, he stayed behind to set a trap for us. Did he really believe this madness would succeed and he would somehow survive? He did not want to survive. His only hope was to kill. Nemesis managed to turn his adoptive father into a blade pointed squarely at the Domin's throat, just as Adalbert himself had once turned Nemesis into a weapon. Neither of them feared death. That devious, mind-twisting beast. I've been going through my predecessor's archive recently, and I may have an idea as to what manner of creature this Nemesis is. We are dealing with a Kellermorph, a special variety of mutant filth in service of genetic cults. These creatures are made and raised to play the part of the people's leader, an inspiration for the Mitrus rabble. A Kellermorph's purpose is to sow disorder and use the rebellion to eliminate the ruling elite, those who might be capable of opposing the Xeno. It's a jingle. What does this have to do with our surviving traitor? Do not kill him in vain. Those who follow the tenets of the web know that, just as we serve death, so too does it serve us. Allow the death of this man to become an instrument in your hands, Domin Octavius. As of the traitor's body as that of the Nemesis, and so fear in his supporters. The enemy will be forced to act to undo this deception, exposing himself in the process. We will do as Skibella proposes. We will make certain that the lower deckers believe their hero to be dead. We will leave the body to hang for a good long while, and the hopes of mutineers may rot along with the corpse. Whack! Whack! We must be strictly observant of the vessels. If the voids men of wavering in faith, able to find the true sovereignty of closer to some elsewhere. For the lower government zone for the strength of the faith, and when the children of the void will recognize as their own, we do not want any outsider. Now, the Bloodstone web is not exactly trusted either, so let's go with number 2. As you command, all the chapel be restored as well. Blessed shields. Ooh, nice. Give me a second. I will send engines to every deck. The next time Nemesis rears his head, which I'm sure will happen sooner rather than later, we will be one step ahead of him, and not the other way around. I doubt that very much, because you are ineffective as hell. Powerback staggers away. Your gaze turns to the motionless Kibella, staring at her own reflection within a pool of blood. Something wrong? I'm thinking of the Nemesis, my adversary. The more I learn about him, the more I see a vague reflection of myself. A twisted reflection, perhaps, but all too familiar. Like me, he was forced to tread the path of servitude from an early age, stripped of anything that might stand in the way of duty. A champion and a zealot left with nothing but an idea, forged and tempered by his mentor. I'll say you are different. You understand the true value of human death. This is true. Like a puppeteer, he pulls the threads of other people's destinies, tangling and severing them. When I cut these threads, it is only as the Undying One commands, with timely precision. I must stop Nemesis so that I might save your subjects from premature death.
Can I fall back now?
Look at the weapons we have. Power pick, Thunderhammer. Enemy finder. Let's see. No, the armors I have are better. Flamers. Cargo. Spinner's Ritual Carapace Chestplate. Yeah. I think none of this stuff is actually good. Except perhaps the auto pistol, power pick, and the Thunderhammer. So, actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep the fire retribution, but send the hand flamer and the armors. Greatsword, where are you? Oh, the greatsword is 1420. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Not the last pistol. Manufacturer's sword. Go. In with the last pistol. Adalbert, I'm gonna give you that great sword. We're gonna give you a great sword. Let's go. Void Ship Bridge. Oh yeah. Let's go back out into space. In space! Also, I want to go into my colony management. Indulgence for sale. Some of the ecclesiarchy? No. Yeah. Rank 3, Shrine. Epiphany. Ooh. Injustice for thousands of believers blocking the Fallstone, serving the Emperor. The energy can be directed with the collection of conquest and new worlds. Arc requires enormous reason, but wealth is nothing for a true believer. Accuser of sin. No, I'm gonna do Shrine. Janice. Still not done, huh? Go back to the bridge from... Actually, let's... Contract what we got. Shadowy dealings. Nothing else. Oh, these I get from the worlds. Of course. Okay, let's go in and start the quest for the new one. Lord Captain, according to telemetry, we are in the system of Kiawagama, the main industrial world of the Von Valancius dynasty. However, our astropath reports that attempts to contact Governor Gaprak have been unsuccessful. But wait, Lord Captain, a new report. Kiawagama is sending a request to exchange data. Should we accept it? Reply with our own request. As your own command. The Voxmaster researches to a nearby continent to relay your instruction to the crew. 12 minutes, nothing happens. Lord Captain, reporting. The manufacturer is ignoring all our requests and continues to send us its own. The longer we do not accept their messages, the stronger and more persistent the incoming signals become. I've never seen anything like. Lord Captain, interference detected in the compartment's walk systems. Bridge is cut off from the rest of the Void Ship. The Void Ship's bridge. Sounds of working cogitators and officers' footsteps. The everyday scene is interrupted by an ear-splitting beeping sound, followed by lumens going out. In the dim glow of candles and emergency lights, one of the officers in the frame cries out. Another falls to her knees, clutching her head. Over the beeping of voxes, shouts can only just be heard. What's going on? The doors are locked. We've lost contact with our compartments. Decipher the incoming box transmissions at all costs. Proceed. A team of decryption experts gets to work. Data tethers are inserted into sockets as they connect to the cogitators. One of the Vox clerics leans over the console. Another is writing something on a piece of parchment. But then she bursts into maniacal laughter and stabs herself in the eye with a steel quill. Another scream. A tech priest, who was mid-prayer, tears himself to pieces with his own mechadendrites. More and more lunatics are mutilating themselves and lunging at others. Portion of pig record being damaged after contact with an unknown object. An enforcer shouts a rabid servitor away from the Lord Captain as he rushes to help the crew, shouting out orders. The image on the pic is fuzzy. Nothing but glimpses of people shouting racket and the Lord Captain's orders. Within minutes, the crazed crew members are either dead or bound and unconscious. The officers clustered around the Lord Captain are barely breathing but unharmed. Scrap code. The voice belongs to the on-deck engine seat who has turned to the Lord Captain from his station. We have been attacked with scrap code, a tech heresy designed to corrupt machines. The transmission received from the planet was infected with this taint. It is now running through the ship's veins. Omnissiah, preserve us. The void-born officer appears before the Lord Captain once more. Whatever this that's attacking us, we have a backup procedure that can circumvent the box barrier. In the atrium leading to the bridge, there is a terminal for an isolated system that might be on effect. A loud pop. The pipes over the officer's heads burst, and a blast of hot air flings the voidborn away from the Lord Captain, his body slamming straight through a cogitator panel. The pick frame spins uncontrollably. The servo skull was jolted by the gust. The pick recorder fogs over, the Vox picking up the crackling of electricity and a death cry. Gas on the bridge! A junior attendant shouts and instantly doubles over, inhaling the poisoned air. The rogue trader gives the order to evacuate immediately. Yeah. Yes. The rogue trader personally oversees the evacuation. Bring the plasma cutters. Get the wounded to the exit. The officers repeat his orders. When the servo skull following the rogue trader reaches the doors, they fall to the plasma cutters and crumble outward. The rogue trader is the last to leave the bridge. Rouse test succeeded. Leaning on a support beam, the rogue trader takes several deep breaths, trying to flush his lungs with air. Then he straightens, smooths his uniform, and heads towards a goal known only to him. The servo skull follows. The atrium is in a state of panic. Silhouettes skitter about in the dark hall, illuminated only by a flickering of emergency lumens. Curt orders and someone's feverish words of prayer can be heard. Having lost all communication, the beheaded ship is writhing in agony. It takes a while for the Lord Captain to find the cogitator mentioned by the fallen officer. The panel of the isolated system is riddled with cracks and bloodstains, and on the floor by the terminal, a tech priest is lying in a heap with his head smashed and technical liquids mixed with blood oozing out of his ports. The Lord Captain decides to take his chances restoring the terminal. The rogue trader rips the power key off the tech priest's mechadendrite and opens the cover on the terminal. Sparks fly into his face, but he is confident in his manipulation of the tangled wires and clanging levers. After replacing the cover and ensuring that the system is restored, the Lord Captain brings up the required data on the screens. The maintenance bay is sending out hundreds of desperate distress calls that have gone unanswered up to now. When the machines went out of control and started turning people insane, others, driven by some hateful and paranoid logic, started butchering the servants of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The tech priests have sustained heavy losses, but the remains of the cult are still holding the line. Out of everything that's happening on the ship, the situation in the maintenance bay is the direst. The Lord Captain knows where help is needed most. He decides to enter the maintenance bay himself. Roger arrives not a moment too soon. The crew, frightened out of their wits, have already cornered the priests of the Omnissiah and are about to execute them. The Lord Captain stands between the angry mob and the tech priests. His sheer presence already giving the crowd pause, partially cutting off any objections from the crew. The rogue trader orders the officers he gathered on the way here to escort the mutineers out and set up a guard post outside the bay, where the tech priests begin to offer desperate prayers to the crippled machine spirits. Return to the bridge. The walk to the bridge is uneventful. The crisis has passed. Although wounded and crippled, the ship nevertheless is returning to its normal operation. Life on the bridge is as bustling as ever, even though the people are surrounded by destruction. The senior officers have the situation under control, and the people have been organized. The emergency crew have already finished repairing the pipes. The technomats are setting up cogitators and consoles, and the healers are bagging up what few corpses there are and examining the wounded. By the comm station, the rogue trader runs into the Voxmaster. Praise the Emperor, you're in one piece, Lord Captain. The situation on board is satisfactory. I was just in the middle of setting up the comm channels. Soon, all the Voxcasters will be fully operational. Lord Captain, the situation has been brought under control, more or less. It will take some time to eliminate the consequences of the attack completely, but the vessel is capable of motion. We may maybe even conduct a warp jump if you feel we should leave the system. Allow me to bring you up to date. Fortunately, the bridge suffered only minor losses. The reports mention only a few casualties that have been replaced. Kavagama went silent after transmitting the harmful signal. I will refrain from sending inquiries to the industrial world to avoid a second attack. I am afraid we have exhausted our options for remote analysis. More information can only be obtained by closing the distance or even sending an away party to the planet's surface. The time has come to remind you of our agreement, Octavius. I must be present in your entourage during your expedition for Kiavagama. I am counting on your cooperation. The crew is awaiting further instructions, your captain. Go to the other worlds first. That world. The dwarf planet is marked by the one Valancius protected recharge as Atle, and serves as a backup source of water for the habitable worlds of neighboring systems. Due to the abundance of bacteria proliferating Atlas' hydrosphere, the extraction of ice has stopped half a century ago, but much to your officer's surprise, the augurs detected an unidentified mining rig deep underground. Presumably, the excavation is aimed at extracting clay minerals near the planet's core, enriched with iron and other metals. Contact the extractions box station. The extraction turns out to be Incendiac Chorda's latest investment, whose domain is located just a few jumps from the Chronic system. While this world is of little value to the Bones Valancius dynasty, your officers see this gesture as an attempt to test the boundaries of the newly minted Rogue Trader's leniency. The Seneschal considered this act unacceptable and insisted on confiscating and rebasing this extraction that was illegally set up in the Bones Valancius territory. The Rogue graciously allows Incendiac Chorda to feed on the crumbs unworthy. This one is a precise shot. I agree with the Seneschal. This needs to be taken over. The front workers and the token security crew do not attempt to resist the superior forces. The machines are delivered to the flagship's cargo hold, and shortly after, the officers plant the Von Valancius banner on the spot where the extractium used to be. I gained an extractium. Good. Time to battle.
All stations, report when manned and ready.
That's a whole lot of people. Evasion plus 30. Yeah, let's fly into the dust cloud.
Commence light fire.
Okay, that's the weak point. Miss! That didn't hit. Oh, those are the others. Okay. I knew there were more. Infidel class raider.
Adjust heading.
Lost the shield. Emperor, protect us.
Engage the last batteries!
Restart shields. That was one hell of a ram. There's a whole lot of torpedoes.
Commence lance fire! Just heading. Let the enemy burn! Commence lance fire! Helmsman, follow my command.
Still good. Still good. They're gonna attack one of my salvos. There we go, perfect. We're good, we're good. They're gonna destroy one of these. Okay. We're gonna bring you here. We're gonna attack both of them at the same time. Cool. So we're gonna come over here with this one. Kaboom!
Just heading. Engage the lance batteries! Let the enemy burn! Launch corpse! Commence lance fire! Let the enemy burn!
Boom. Miss. Good. I think that's the end of the battle. Yes. Unholy amulets and a better augur. No, it's a worse augur array. Oh well. Scrap. Oh, let's void chip management. Where we can level up. Yeah, level up RAM. Awesome. Oh. Void chips. So this is assault scanners. Running data. Running 80% hit chance. Ooh, it's less hit chance but more crit chance. I'll take it. And this one goes to cargo. I like the Starbreaker one more, so this one goes to cargo now. Yavagama, here we go. Begin scan. Manufactorum of Yavagama. Hey, Heinrichs needs to go. Who are we leaving behind? Yeah, I think this is a good party. Actually, no. Let's remove Argenta and bring Pascal. Tech priest in the tech world? Hell yeah. Heinrich frowns and his eyes sweep over the Manufactorum's dark halls. No solemn ceremony, no personal meeting with the Magi. I fear we are too late and we won't be dealing with clandestine heretics. After all. Binary areas of alarm stream out of Pascal's box synthesizer. In their neurotic broken rhythm, you sense a call to arms and a warning of danger. Any suggestions for how to proceed? To start, let's look around and find out why the arrival of the rogue trader did not elicit the usual fuss. To speak plainly, I would not count on a warm welcome at this rate. Better keep your weapons at the ready. You learn nothing by standing here. Let's go. Okay, I need to take care of some maintenance duties. So, Pascal. Let's look at armors. What do I got for you? Nothing that works for you real well. Weapons, though. You have a nice fire retribution. No? Oh, I need more strength. Unfortunate. Crescendo. There's an axe and a hand flamer. Let's give you the melta gun instead of the flamer. And in here, the enemy finder. Master Duelist, Power Grips, Signet Ring. Steel Talons. Pack of reagents. Then let's go with. Yes. Oh. This for you. Enhanced optics. We got. Doesn't deal more damage. Yeah, the one I already have is better. Doesn't even attack, that enemy block dodge repair by 10. Nah, no. If I were heretical, it would be better, but no. Then for you, give you the tarnished Aquila. Oh, what I wanted. Cool. And none of the headpieces are good. For you, we're gonna just give you a headpiece. That's just good for you. You don't have ranged attacks, so that's useless. Power grips. Pack of reagents. Yeah, that's better. Enemy finder. That's good enough. Fellowship versus commerce. Yeah, it's not good. Ooh, good. Yep, tech use, Pascal go.
The machine god grants the insight. Venture forth.
According to an ancient holy political console, until the people, blah, blah, blah. View the log. Agitator. Shortly before your appears as they are performing some elaborate confusing dance. Bringing strange poses, they rock back and forth down splendid peculiar angles. Observe him. Toward its touch. Rain gently, swiftly, you step away from the servitor, reach his hand, trying to blindly touch you in a space that you have already left, and still once more it seems that the brain is capable of perfectly processing changes in surroundings. Finding source of repeating clicks. Further clicking. On the back of the service, a tumor oozing with murky ichor is growing straight through the occupants. The relays caught in the inflamed tissue are blocked, hence the reason they're persistent clicking. Imitation is serviture. The terrorists typically reject the use of flawed soft tissue for their constructs. Perhaps something has caused this aggressive growth. Quite recently. Medicaid. How much difficulty you cut the excess flash from the mechanisms. The deliberate relay lets a rapid burst of clicks, and then a spark flashes before your eyes and something begins to hum, deep inside the servitor's flesh. As if on cue, the servitors stop moving. Lower their arms and turn to you. Crew 24, second lane of Manufactorum. Commencing work, state your request. Follow your default programming.
Let's seize the moment.
Holy crap, I have an army of... I have a bunch of servitors following me now. Damn. Kind of badass.
Thousands and thousands
In a horrible
of
way, because
voices
servitors are
crying out for salvation.
horrific.
In hope, with wild promises. Their pain is your reward, interrogator.
I will pretend I did not hear your last words, witch.
Probably will need to get up there in some capacity. Why is this not working? Oh well. Oh, look at that. Is this an evil tech priest? The lamps returning on the tech priest's bedraggled red robe into the mechanisms implanted in his body. You see this his haggard and sickly face on the archaic respirator identification. Request denied. Registering anomalous behavior within this servant's organics and an invalid no-sphere response. This unit is compromised. Summon the tech priest. Awareness succeeded. You carefully saw the robe-clad figure. A black border of necrosis spreads out from around the tech priest's implants. For some reason, his body is rejecting the true flesh. A moment later, you recognize the dominant smell in the bouquet of scents permeating the air around the tech priest. The stench of rotten meat. Who is undead? Ugh, this guy smells worse than a grox fermented in spent promethium. I bet he tastes even worse. Consumption of the flesh of members of the Devil's Mechanicus is not recommended, irrespective of their smell or compromised state. Octavius, heir of House von Valancius. Rogue trade. Irregular execution of Fabio Sensor approved protocol 3942 recommended. If Fabio sends a traitor to the Imperium and the humanity will not comply with any protocols, well, let's ask more West Protocol 1942. If it's a deep tissue massage, I might take it. Observe the decree passed by the fabricated sensor that dictates the course of action. Attack comrades of Kabagama in suboptimal working conditions are to follow. Immediate execution of program. Recommendation rejected. The catechisms of protocol could have been distorted. Adherence to the standard procedure of reconnaissance and verification recommended. Fine, let's stick to our protocols. Leverage nods and gestures for you to come closer. It open the way. And even my gaggle of servitors is coming with me. Come on, dudes. Shuffle, shuffle. Glide. Yeah, something's gone freaky here.
They who discern the future own the battlefield. I'm not so sure. Ah!
Was that you? Or, but of course.
Will do. Ah! Anything else?
Here come my servitors. Magos Heretic.
As honor ordains. The shadows will see it done. by the way. Trust me, I will not die in dishonor. As honor ordains.
She did always want to be a martyr.
Damn, they blew her up?
With purpose. As said, so done. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Let's set this in motion. They won't expect this.
At your beck and call. Indeed. At your beck and call.
Everyone, step aside. I won't object to it. Naturally. For the throne's glory.
Yet iron knows no pain. Request denied. Request approved.
Okay.
Setting target parameters for tech familiar units.
Okay.
Will do. Was that you? Or...
Fine.
easy. I know what to do. Let's set this in contemplate your weakness.
It will be done. I will do my duty. Indeed.
Let's see to it.
Hell yeah, go birdie.
Abiding the hopes of specifications of the Omnisire. Tech Familiar activated.
Okay. Oh, goodbye. Kaboom.
Anything else? Why did I not see
I said, so you clearly are outmatched. For the Dynasty! Costly mistake.
I think this is the end of the fight, no? No, this is the end of the fight.
I took care of this one.
Omnisire Axe.
Let's see this through.
I've suffered worse.
There is only death, yours or mine. Shame and dishonor. A bitter end.
Come on, let's arm it.
Just as he ordained.
Stay sharp.
small, heavy-minded man in filthy tattered robes stands before you. As you approach, he hesitantly looks up at you, his eyes filled with horror. A portable inscribed with a keyboard hangs from the straps at his front, and you can see his detached cerebral cogitator peeking out from under his hood. You have nothing to fear from us. Deus Mechanicus. He heard my prayers. I thought I was alone in a kingdom of madness and depravity. Please save me. Tell us who you are and what happened to you. I am Manufactorum Lex Mechanic Zeta 86. I performed the rituals for the machine spirits of Foundry 95, up until we started going mad. Priests devoted to the Omnissiah suddenly started praising the dawn of something or other. They stopped the belts, and then they desecrated the visage of the sacred machines with unholy symbols. Some of them resisted, the others grabbed them, tied them up, and then they turned their implants to heresy. I saw the madmen, my former tech comrades, deliberately connect those poor souls to corrupted cogitators. I watched they were infected with the scrap code, and did nothing to stop them. I'm recording a violation of the commandment of thine own for to be a true sentinel, Apostate Zeta 86. Your access key are hereby revoked. Proceed with your report. How did you manage to avoid the same fate? I didn't avoid it. They performed the same procedure on me. I felt the touch of unholy code. I allowed it to control me. I abandoned my second pose and followed one of the traitors, serving his will and gathering all the data for his blasphemous experiments. I was driven by an unholy impulse coming from the depths of my auxiliary cogitator, where the code had lodged itself. The whispers are dancing around you, latching onto you, but not for long. Maybe it won't happen yet. Maybe it won't at all. Before I found a way to throw off the compulsion, I witnessed horrifying heresy, the extraction of true flesh and its decomposition on altars, perverse procedures that result in heretical abominations. I even accompanied the fallen Magus to fight the fabricator censor himself and attended the unholy mass he led personally. It was a wicked ritual full of willful deviations and blatant inaccuracies, all to create an ungodly monster in the name of the final dawn. You don't act like the other priests who were infected with the corruption. Praise the gifts of the Omnissiah, I managed to disconnect my external cogitator, which I used primarily for primary data processing. The machine is corrupted. Scrap code is locked inside it, like a beast in a cage, but anyone who tries to look inside will fall victim to the heretical program. My primitive brain has been marked by corruption. I still see their silhouettes, hear their interference. I sense the malfunctions in my augmentics. But I was still saved from the great sacrifice. Oh, blessed are the workings of the Omnissiah, and his benedictions that shelters the weak from evil. Henrik tenses over so slightly at the Lex Mechanic's word. You see his hand casually straight to the handle of his weapon, but the interrogator is in no hurry to act. You mentioned the monster. Is that some kind of weapon? No. Not those contracts that are melted down in furnaces and sent to the depths of the Manufactorum. It is some kind of semblance of a cogitator, a nightmarish parody of a sacred machine, powered not by the Omnissiah's grace, but by the unholy spirit and life force of the unfortunates imprisoned on the lower levels. I don't know much, except that the fabricator censor saw that the machine as special. It was special to him and to the crazies who defiled the Omnissiah's abode with their obscene blasphemy. For the final ritual, he even called upon one of the Astartes heretics to arrive at the Manufactorum after the start of the uprising. He did something terrible, and only after that they were able to switch the machine on. It is a true abomination. Even standing near it is unbearable. I believe that even those who have been deprived of the Omnissiah's grace still feel its influence on them. Its monstrous power utilized for unholy computations and chaotic calculations. Whatever that cogitator might spew out at the end of its cycle, no righteous soul should accept its heinous offerings. How did your crazed comrades behave? Like the grace of the Omnissiah had left them entirely, replacing free thought and progress with blackest corruption. I witnessed them desecrating the structures blessed by the fabricator censor himself, though what do the blessings of that rotten traitor count for now? Like men possessed, they set upon the sacred instruments and assembled shells and notes that didn't match any diagram or blueprint they've ever seen. Sacrilege. You mentioned someone in prison on the lower levels. Lay servants of the main units. They live in isolated segments under the sacred machine halls. I heard they were locked in there after the takeover. Then my crazed brethren changed the system for disposing of slag waste and covered the machines in cursed symbols. And after they started the cogitator, they dragged the survivors out of the segments under the machine halls. Well, what the survivors had turned into. You demonstrate exceptional powers of observation and recall for someone who just happens to survive. I am a Lex Mechanic. Gathering data is the purpose of my existence. That's even what they used me for. They used me against my will. The scrapper turns everyone into their slave. Before I rid myself of the cogitator, I was forced to serve alongside those who perpetrated these atrocities and witness their obscenities. What'd you make of it? Servant of the Omnissiah must know more about the Final Dawn, the fabricated sensor, his mask, and about this machine as well. I could give you the coordinates, but even though I was present for many blasphemies committed by those heretics, all the details that were captured and processed by my true flesh are in the augmentic that was corrupted by the scrap code. I'm convinced that if I hadn't thought of that foreign compulsion in time, I would have been doomed. The corruption would have spread to my biological cogitator as well. I swear that no devout tech priest should come into contact with what's hidden in that one sacred device. Eric's expression shifts as he stares intently at the disconnected implant and at the still intact connectors protruding from under the Lex mechanic's collar. The corner of his mouth twitches involuntarily. Havelock notices the look on Eric's face, and once he does, he sighs heavily and looks away. Heinrich, what are you thinking? Heinrich does not speak for several seconds, gritting his teeth. In a meditative tone, as though he is musing aloud, he addresses the Lex mechanic. There may be a way to retrieve the cogitator's contents via another device. Even if the Lex mechanic shakes his head in reproach. Even if the very idea of exposing a holy machine to the scrap code wasn't profane in itself, my augmetics are not universally compatible. They cannot be connected to another machine spirit. They were created to interact within the system of my true flesh, to innervate my compulsion unit and output data via the inscriber. Once I am safe, I swear that I will immediately perform the cleansing rite and destroy. In other words, there's only one way to extract the data stored in the cogitator. What are you talking about? If we connect the cogitator to the augmetic system, the Lex mechanic will serve as a conduit for transmitting data. He will learn the details, even if they are incomplete, of the things he saw and heard but is now unable to recall. The Lex mechanic, who has been listening to the discussion in puzzlement, finally understands what is going to happen to him. He begins to back away in fear. No, anything but that. I'll die. No, it'll be worse than that. I'll succumb to the corruption. I'm begging you, please. I'd rather be burned as a heretic than have the scrap code in my biological cogitator. At these words, Heinrich pauses for a fraction of a second, almost as if he's reconsidering. In failing to offer any resistance against the enemies of the Omnissiah, Unit Zeta-86 lost the grace of the machine rank and was recategorized as a resource of the Manufactorum. The defilement and torment of said resource, if permitted to advance the struggle against heresy, will not be deemed an apostasy or malefaction against the living soul. Upon expiry of the unit's utility, disposal is recommended. Heinrich, stop. They would never discuss anything against this unit. We need to know where the cogitator is. Even if the heretics' conversations are unimportant, I must know why the machine was so valuable to them. I'll tell you. The Lex mechanic rummages in his ragged clothes until it produces a scrap of parchment. A different augmetic is responsible for my muscle memory. It has data storage too. I remember where I walked and what I pressed with my fingers. Here are the coordinates. And the code. It's probably the code to the bay. He scratches out the numbers with his fingernails and passes the parchment to Heinrich. Heinrich's eyes bore into the smaller man's. At last, having reached some conclusion, he turns to you. He's the subject of your world, Octavius. It is for you to decide his fate. He will be taken to my ship. After the cleansing rites, a place will be found for him there. Excessive kindness, Octavius. It's good people into trouble. Let's hope that the corruption only affected the disconnected augmetic and not his soul. Come on, we need to find the cogitator. I am an optimist. I am ever an optimist. So this is to jump down. Okay, I got it now. I get what the point of the thing was.
Forge ahead. Never linger.
Oh yeah, there we go. There it is. That's what I was looking for.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Marching ahead.
An offering of blood. Stop mocking.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
Let's go then.
Aim for the heart next time.
Over here then.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
There is only death.
What advice
Yours
do you seek?
Or mine.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
Can I fall back now?
I could use some help.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
Venture forth.
I'm gonna leave it here for now. Next time around, Yagama and likely a new Astartes to fight. A new Chaos Space Marine will be fought. But that'll be next time, next Tuesday. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on Thursday for Wuthering Waves.